Hello, everyone, and welcome to Raising Vibrations. You're with Simon today, and we're doing Chart of the Day, and this is for the 16th and 17th of May, 2016. And today, I feel there's a really, really sacred message that I would like to share, to deliver with everyone. And there usually are messages that I feel are important and I feel that are worth sharing. But today has an extra special sort of attachment to it because there are quite a lot of I don't know how to put it across, but like there's a lot of things that I would like to talk about today that are incredibly relevant for this entire 6 months and maybe even the next, I would say, year. And so I'm going to kind of expand a lot of what I want to talk about over the year period, but use today's conversation as a way to set us in motion for that direction. Okay. So as you can see on the right hand side, there is this picture of the ocean and then this massive kind of explosion. And I'm calling it a depth charge. Okay. And in this particular instance, this is an actual nuclear blast, but depth charges are what I'm talking about today. And the impression and the feeling that I get from this picture is the entirety of this message, and it is the entirety of the next 6 to 8 months of our existence, but it's going to expand a lot longer than that. Okay. So the ocean represents the emotional body. The ocean represents the depth of our psyche. It represents the totality of who we are. And the explosion represents this cleansing and clearing and burning off of karma experience, okay? And because we have karma that is so incredibly intertwined and so deep within our ancestral DNA and stuff like that, these explosions that are currently happening on the planet right now regarding our inner vibration is causing us to be rattled, to be shaken up. Okay, but they are incredibly necessary. Okay, so this picture is this way that we're going along our daily activities, and then all of a sudden, bang, like out of nowhere, we get this emotional eruption that takes place with us, and we're like, oh my God, we have to deal with this emotion. We have to deal with these things that are presenting themselves for us right now. And it's scary because that picture is scary. That experience of being in the middle of that thing is just overwhelming. It's like it's chaos. There's no direction. There's just massive and you can even associate like large amounts of death to the experience. It's just madness. Yeah. And I see the little boat on the left hand side over here. If I just get my little pointer, I see the boat on the left hand side here, pardon me, the right hand side, as the trigger point. Okay, as the trigger that detonates this emotional disease and cancer that exists within our psyche and within our emotional body that is not processed, that is not moved. So it talks about the trauma that is stored in the body. We talk about the emotional experiences that tighten the blood cells, that stop the divine light from emanating within our center of beingness. It stops us from understanding our soul. Okay. And that charge over there detonates itself and it erupts all over the energy frequency. And depending on how deep the trauma is, will dictate how much that explosion is going to rivet us into needing to pay attention. So the words or the song that I actually have in my head for today is Burn, Baby, Burn, because it's associated with burning off this karma, getting rid of all of this gunk that exists on our psyche and on our energetic fields, and just releasing it into the abyss so that it can be transmuted, so that we can have more space within ourselves to be more present in the body. Yeah. So the chart of the day is Sun still in Taurus, 25 degrees, which everybody can see there. Moon in Virgo, situates over there. And what's really interesting about these two luminaries is that they're trining each other in this awesome harmonic experience. It's like Virgo and the Sun, or should I say Moon and Virgo and Sun and Taurus. This Earth trine just comes alive, and the Moon just activated it over the last 2 days. right? Because obviously the moon would have been in Virgo for the last day and a half, and it will be leaving Virgo today, which is the 16th of May, and it will be moving into Libra on the 17th. So not only did we get a very sort of clear egocentric perspective and feeling of what this Earth trine was about, it also completely and utterly illuminated the North Node in Jupiter in Virgo, which is healing that stuff, processing that stuff, clearing out that stuff, getting all of that gunk from under our psyche that is just stored, where we've got all these protection mechanisms and things that just prevent us from actually doing the thing that we are destined to do. You know, we sit with our energy and we're like, nope, can't do it. We don't feel good enough. All this psychological babble that just stops us from bringing more light into ourselves because society tells this, or another person's point of view tells that, or you don't feel ready here, etc. It's like enough of that disempowering state of awareness. But how does it come up? Well, it has to come up somewhere. And in order for us to get that stuff out, we need to be triggered. So Mars in Sag, Saturn in Sag, squaring the nodal axis, squaring Jupiter, which is all that stuff over there, in the axis of chaos, Pisces, in the axis of creating cleansing and purification, Virgo, in the axis of Sag, which is stored residue of belief systems that keep you in and keep me in this whole sort of residue of nonsense. It's literally just nonsense. So it's time. And if you see these energies at this point in time as welcoming, if you allow them and respect them to be the energy that is propelling you into your greatest version of yourself, then you are absolutely taking grip of what's going on right now, and you are manifesting true, authentic beingness. Now, the reason why I go back to this picture here regarding the depth charge is that from the core of our essence, this stuff has to come up. So naturally, when we're dealing with this stuff, we've got all these defenses, we've got all these protection mechanisms that say that we shouldn't be doing this. So here's my suggestion for everybody today. Okay, coming back to this, you have incarnated onto Earth to burn your karma. You have incarnated onto Earth to be and experience the totality of this beautiful place. But until we can actually be in the body to use the senses to feel into what that feels like, we've got no hope and chance. So away with higher consciousness, existential, gravitating out of the body into higher dimensional states of awarenesses, to play around in the state of consciousness that is like we're all loving and caring and protective, etc. No, that's an illusion to keep us in a space of safeness and to not deal with the darkness. Now, I'm not saying that that's the only thing that we're supposed to do, like just go into the darkness and stay there and just be in that place. No, I mean, go into the darkness, clear out that emotional gunk so that when you start manifesting your dreams, the pyramid that you're building, the foundation, is not got rotten wood in it. It doesn't have flimsiness to it. It's solid. It's rock. It's there. And you're giving yourself the best potential to get to the states of heightened awarenesses that you want to manifest your highest dreams without getting a trigger that depth charges you. And then all of a sudden everything explodes in front of you and you're back to square one again. Do you see what I'm trying to say here? So we burn that stuff off. And if we can purify ourselves and we can clear that nonsense for the next 6 months going forward, particularly because this is what's present for us at this point, then we can get that new reality that everybody desires on the planet at this point in time. But it starts with us. Step 1. Step 2, Earth trine. Okay, the Earth trine is there to keep us stable. So when we are in this depth charge experience, sit there and go, I'm in this chaos, but don't move. The more you move, the more you go into this flux of stuff, the more chance you're actually going to spin out of control and the energy is just going to swirl you up and consume you. When you're in that space, try your hardest to keep still, like in the middle of a storm. Just keep still in that place and just experience it. Just experience it. And then when it's out, when you feel into that chaos, when you feel into that experience, go, I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm here. It's in my emotional reality. My existential world is not changing. I'm here. I'm safe. I can handle this. I've got this. And when you get into that space, then you are literally allowing yourself to see these emotions and then allow the heightened state of awareness to give you information about what's going on. How can you reshape your response to this situation so you become aware of it so you can start working through the stuff? the last thing that I wanted to say to everybody, and I keep flipping back between the two, is just to remind us of this chart and its energy form in like, physical and visual experiences, is that with this Earth trine experience and with the Sagittarius squares that are taking place, I mean, it's pretty clear, right? Trines and then squares, and oppositions. So it's like cleansing out and purifying the emotional stuff. Throughout our whole entire lives, we have consistently experienced psychological states of needing to survive, just getting through stuff, just getting by, etc. Now, it's time for us to remove that stored residue of psychological states of fear, psychological states of I can't trust myself, psychological states of I've just got to get through it, I've got to suppress the emotions, and I've got to be everywhere, etc. And just kind of come back into the body and slow down, which is funny because I speak very fast when I'm doing these things. And that's my own personal sort of work that I'm doing regarding the tension that I have in my own body. So we're breaking these psychological habits. The Taurus archetype, I need to survive in order to stay safe. The Virgo archetype, I will create crises in my life to prevent me from dealing with any of the things that I need to clear in myself, because it's a lot safer to not deal with it. So we're breaking that paradigm. We're smashing all those things and saying enough, right? I was reading the other day that there's a type of psychological state in which the protection or barriers that are around painful and traumatic experiences are actually manifest excuses in our psyche to not deal with it. So they can manifest as like sometimes as an illness or a sickness, right? Just puts it like a sickness. And we've got something really, really amazing that we want to do, but it's like having to take a leap of faith. So the body goes, okay, well, this is not a good idea. How I've dealt with it in the past is just, to protect you. So the psychological state is, I'm going to protect you, I'll cause a crisis, and you actually manifest like a sickness or a sense of like illness within yourself that prevents you from having to go have that experience that will liberate you from this whatever it is that you have to deal with. Okay. And so therefore it keeps you safe. And we're rewriting this stuff. We're smashing those paradigms and saying enough. We don't have to deal with these things. So when you are working with your shadow work, there are these certain layers that will naturally manifest itself. Keep still, keep with the emotion, get into the feminine energy where she will nurture and protect, and you are nurtured, you are protected, you are safe, and just allow yourself for this energy to just move through you so that you can clear it out and become aware of it, okay? Fantastic, guys. So that was chart of the day. I really hope that was awesome information. I'd like to let everybody know that tonight, which is the 15th or 16th of May 2016, I'm having a workshop called Liberation and Self-Actualization. And the purpose of the workshop is to go deeper into what I've spoken about today. In the description below is a link to signing up. All the details, I think it's like $65. And it's a 2-hour conversation where I'll talk to you for 45 minutes, and then you will look at your astrology charts and we'll work through your own karma, okay? So the details are in the description below, and there's 3 spaces left. Fantastic. All right, guys, have a great week. Bye.